Giants.
Yeah, I felt the same way. By the way, it's thermometer, not barometer. I'm just kidding. And
What did I say?
you said barometer.
A barometer.
Barometer.
Yeah, no, I knew what you
No,
meant there.
and it's
But
not. We're not talking barometric pressure
okay, so
here.
Cincinnati and Baltimore. Baltimore is favored by 6 at home. I too, feel like Baltimore is going to win this game. I feel like Baltimore is still one of the best teams in the AFC and maybe in the entire league. I mean, it was tough with the points at -6, but I'm taking Baltimore here at home. And now we're going to move on to our Sunday 1 o'clock games.
Oh,
And we're going to
gosh.
start off with a game that's near and dear to Ernest's heart. We're going to go with the New York Giants traveling to Carolina, where the Giants are favored by 5.5.
Wow, Giants 5.5.
Remember that 2 wins?
Yeah.
There's 2 teams with 2 wins in there. For example, I mean, I'm a Giants fan. I don't even want to wake up for this game. I really don't. This is mimosa hour for me, and I'm not going to watch this game. Well, I'm going to watch it because I'm a Giants fan, but come on. It's like, what are we doing here? This is torture at 9:30 in the morning. What are we doing?
9:30 a.m.
Just cut to it. Who are you
I
taking,
don't wanna
Ernest?
I'm going to take the Giants.
Whoa, Homer.
It's a big
It's
take.
a home field
I mean,
pick.
Big take.
should I want them to win, though, really, honestly? I'm done with Daniel Jones. I'm done with the Giants. I'm done with the team this year.
You're out?
Dude, I'm
We
bored now.
got room on our bandwagon, so hop on board. But I'm with you. I think this is my shame of the week. This is it.
This is the shame.
Ernest, you hit it right. It's
Yeah.
9:30 in the morning. It's not even worth getting up for. Sleep in.
Yeah.
Get that extra hour.
I may do that.
You should do that because there's nothing to see here. Both teams are pretty pathetic, for lack of a better term. My barometer here is the quarterback play, and they both stink. So I'm going to go with Carolina, even though the Giants. It's at Carolina. Carolina's coming off a win.
Yeah, but it's overseas.
Giants
I mean,
stink.
it's
Yeah,
nobody's really got home.
Okay,
field
so
advantage,
it's home field for the New York. Nobody in Europe roots for the Carolina Panthers. It
No.
just doesn't happen. It's not a thing.
They
I don't
root
even
for
know if they know they
Jacksonville.
exist. Yeah, they root for maybe Jacksonville, but the Giants. Everybody knows New York City. Yeah, let's go with. But I'm going with Carolina. Yeah.
Normally, from these 9:30 a.m. games, everybody warns you, especially if you play fantasy football, to make sure you
Don't-
put your line up.
Don't worry about it.
I mean, if you have any Giants on
There
your
is
team,
no
you're struggling.
players-
Yeah,
There is no
you don't have to
players
put your
on
lineup
these
in till 1.
There
Just
is
make
no
sure.
players on these teams that I would even consider starting this
Well,
week.
Chuba Hubbard, that's it.
You're on
He's
this
still
guy.
in that
You're
thing?
gonna
He's
get
still
off
in
this
that,
guy.
bro? Come
Still
on,
Chuba.
man.
Who you picking?
In this game, I'm picking the Giants. They're getting favored by 5.5. If you got to pick one here, I'm going with the Giants. Now we move on to the 1 o'clock games. We have Chicago at home against New England, where Chicago is favored by 6.
So the Bears have kind of come down to earth with it now since that nice little 4-2 start. Down to 4-4, and as Noah said, Caleb Williams is not the real deal, and you're looking right now about that. It's an interesting game though, because New England. Drake May has looked pretty decent. I mean, ever since Joe Brissett got hurt, whatever, and they pulled him, and he's looked decent. So, man, this is tough. What's the spread in this game again?
6.
I'll take Chicago, but I'm not confident about it.
Yeah, New England's pretty
On the
bad
spread anyway.
too, but I'm with you. Williams isn't there yet. They won some games, and they won some games that they shouldn't have won. They're losing games that they should have won. I just I don't see it. I don't see that they're going to be a good team long term, but they have enough to win this game at Sunday at 1 at Chicago at Soldier Field, and everybody's going to be all excited. And it's going to be that winter weather, and it's going to be cold and exciting. And Williams, he'll roll to his right and throw to his right side, and
It's going to
and
be
he won't-
cold. I don't know
it's-
about exciting.
Yeah, I'll go with Chicago, but this is bad football again, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm taking New England on the road here. It's the points. -6 at home for Chicago for me. I'm going to take New England with an upset here.
Do they win?
No.
Okay.
I'm just taking the points in
Okay.
this one.
Smart move.
When it comes to the next game, we're starting to talk about some contenders here. We got Buffalo at Indianapolis, where Buffalo goes in favored by 3.5.
Yeah, it's Buffalo. They're
Buffalo.
good.
Go ahead.
They're playing good football. They pulled one out against Miami, and that's a divisional game. And Miami came back in. We're going to get back on track. We're going to get right or whatever. They didn't. Buffalo has a quarterback again. You have these winners, whether it be Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen or Jalen
Your
Hurts
boy.
or somebody. They can make the plays when they need to make the plays, and they did. They kick a 61-yard field goal that was good from
ease.
70.
With ease.
That
Was
could just
nuts.
crushes it into the wind. I think Buffalo's just rolling along. They have all the pieces on both sides of the ball. I'm going with Buffalo.
This has trap game all over it because Indy's frisky. They are competitive, and now with Joe Flacco playing quarterback, not AR-15, they can they can make things
Like last
here.
week. You missed last week. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. But
Okay, I get it too.
I mean, but I I'm with the Josh Allen bandwagon like you, man. I think he's having a phenomenal year. He's doing more with less. The Bills have a 4-game lead now in the division with even without the tiebreakers now on top of that. Buffalo is just right now looking at seeding now. I think Buffalo pulls this out. I really do. I think it's a trap game feel to it, but I think Buffalo will find a way to win this game. Give me Buffalo a cover.
See, I like Josh Allen for different reasons than he likes Josh
Right.
Allen.
Oh, God.
But I still take them on the
Dreamy.
road. Tony's checking in. Tony Burns. We got
Big
to
Colts
know Tony
guy.
very
Big
well
Colts guy.
last
Is he
couple
really?
of weeks.
Yeah,
The
big Colts
Moneymaker
guy.
Tour was in
Frisky
town.
team.
We had our Moneymaker main event that finished on Monday with Art Peacock walking away with the main event trophy. Another successful Moneymaker Tour right up here
Great event.
in
was
the
fun.
second floor poker room. Shout out to Tony Burns, but none of us are picking your Indianapolis.
Not happening.
We're all taking Buffalo on the road in Indy. Now we move on to Denver at Kansas City, where the undefeated Chiefs are favored by 8 points at
Yeah,
home.
Kansas City. They got another weapon in a wide receiver. Who did they get? Mike Williams.
Yeah,
Is that-
they did.
Yeah,
Mike
so they
Williams.
pick up Mike Williams to give Patty another opportunity to do some things. Kansas City's not going to lose this game. This isn't going to be the first one, so Miami's going to have to hold on to those champagne bottles to pop for the only winless team. It's not happening this year. It's not happening. Earnest will go as far as saying no team's going to win every game. He's going
What?
to tell us that today.
That was crazy.
He's going
What
to
a
go out on a limb. He's like,
prognosticator.
no, but it's
He's
not.
right.
He's going to say it's not this one, blah, blah, blah. It's not this one. It is not. Your survivor pick, if you have Kansas City, this is your one. Use it now.
They will lose a game.
Oh, there
They
we
will
go.
lose a game.
This guy,
I just don't
he's
think that-
spitting.
but
He
they-
has facts.
But now we're 8-0 now. You look at the schedule.
He's
like,
cooking.
What are their
Yeah.
what are their tough games now coming
Yeah.
forward? There's the
The
Buffalo
knowledge coming.
game. There's the Bills game coming in 2 weeks though.
Right.
That could be the loss there. Maybe.
That could be the
That's
one.
in Buffalo.
Right.
Ain't this week though. Get Casey to cover this game. Denver's
Right.
Denver's
But it is going to happen. You're going on record now.
you
Write
think-
it down that they're going to lose a game.
Do you think they'll lose a game this year?
Yeah, they're going to lose
Which
a game
one?
this year.
Which one?
I don't know, but it's just going to happen. But
At
I will say this much, though.
10-14,
Let me say this though.
says
Yeah.
this.
Let me say this though. Looking at the schedule, if they get past Buffalo this week, the rest of the schedule is cake.
yeah, it's the
I'm
NFL.
just saying, it's
tough.
Raiders, it's Broncos again, it's a bunch of the Panthers in there, I think also too. Yeah. So I'm saying if they get past Buffalo in 2 weeks.
Oh, I know what you're saying.
That's going to be that could be something we're looking at.
What say you, Mike?
I'm going to take Kansas City at home here. I mean, they're favored by 8. I did take the Buccaneers on Monday night just because of the points. I knew it was going to be a close game. I don't think they're going to let it be this close.
You're right, too.
They have so many different weapons now. I mean, it's a team that has won a lot of sloppy and games that they shouldn't have won. A lot of people say the refs had something to do with it. I
Oh.
don't.
You don't say
I'm
that?
not into that controversy.
You didn't watch the Super Bowl against the
they-
Eagles? You don't. I do.
They
I say
did
it.
win the games.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, they are undefeated right now. I don't think they're going to let this one be that close at home in Kansas City. Now we're going to move on to Atlanta at New Orleans, where Atlanta goes in favored by 3.
This is two of those 2-win teams, right?
No, Atlanta's. Well, he's the New Orleans one of those teams. Yeah.
They feel. Yeah.
New Orleans might arguably be the worst team in football right now.
Yeah. It's
Was it an
bad.
8-game losing streak now? I called it.
Yeah, it's
3-2.
7. I think I have my notes here.
They
I
lost
do
to
have-
Carolina last week.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
I said no 2-0. They're frauds.
can your coach. Now, you have to be careful with this one. It's the old can your coach, get everybody hyped up, get one free win, and then go back to stinking. It's like when you fire your quarterback. You fire your quarterback, you bring the back up, Winston comes in, you win a game, next week you stink again. That's what's going to happen here. This is a stay-away game for me, but
Yeah.
I'm going with Atlanta, but this is a stay away where New Orleans get froggy, where the coach gets in there and he uses his best speech of his whole entire life, the one he has. He's like, "Win it for me." He's like, "They did the coach wrong. Win it for him." And they go in there and they win and then they stink.
The old win one for the Gipper speech.
What's number?
Exactly.
What's number again this game? The number again this game?
It doesn't matter.
That number is 3.
Wow, they got it pegged nice too. Like I can see the Saints win this game just because of the visual optics. It's in the Superdome. They got. I'm gonna do reverse psychology here now. They got to win a game at some point, right?
Oh, yeah, you have all these great prognostic.
I think he said that.
A team in 17 weeks will have to win one and will have to lose
Yeah.
one.
Sure,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
great.
You know what? No, screw it. I'm taking Atlanta.
Yeah, I'm taking Atlanta too.
Atlanta.
Those points, just at -3 for Atlanta, I've got to take Atlanta in this one.
Yeah.
Now we're moving on to a very competitive game. San Francisco
You think?
at Tampa Bay, and San Francisco is favored by 5.
So two teams that are really banged up right now. Mm-hmm. Two teams that are really right now in situations where at this point, playoff was on the line. They win division or yeah. I don't see the South nor the West taking multiple teams to the playoffs. So this is the most win for Tampa. The two back of Atlanta right now in the division. San Francisco's banged up. The AFC West has gotten a little weird the last couple of weeks.
Weird.
Oh boy, this is tough. Man, Baker, they look pretty good on Monday Night Football though. I will say you were right about that, Mike, about the points on Tampa. I mean, I can see Tampa win this game, but I'll take San Francisco off a bye week.
Yeah,
Just the optics.
CMC's back, right? He's back.
Is he back?
Yeah, he's back.
I'm not going to trust that until they hand him the
won't,
ball and he
but-
runs on the
Are
field.
you sure about
Okay,
that?
even if he's not back, they have
Right.
enough to win at Tampa.
Right,
That's
I
my
agree.
opinion. Faker Mayfield, he's shown who he is. He's that guy. He's that same guy. He's that wild card quarterback. Do great, do bad. Do great, do bad.
What should be for Baker Mayfield? I don't get that. Is the Eagle thing?
No, it's just
It's the cannons
It's
thing.
not. Yeah, the cannons go off in the whole thing, and it's at like I don't have time.
He's
for
not
it.
handsome
like,
enough
He
like Josh
doesn't.
Allen?
No, he's
I don't have time for Baker.
he's annoying as and you have to bleep me out if I really had to say that. So, like I have to hit the button, beep beep beep. Like
Do we have that button
no,
there?
he's got San Fran. Christian McCaffrey, I believe, is going to come back. They're going to go in there. They're going to run through Tampa. Tampa's still banged up. They're missing, and San Fran's getting healthy. And I know you're saying they're banged up, but they're getting healthy, and Tampa is not. I think Tampa had early excitement, and they play off of that. And Baker's a big part of that, where he gets everybody motivated. He's like, "Oh, look at us, blah blah blah." But when he loses his swagger, the whole team does, and that's where we're at right now. I take San Fran at Tampa.
Before I make my pick, I had somebody ask me yesterday, who's winning that division, San Fran or Arizona? What do you guys think?
I'm gonna lean San Fran still, but it's getting dicey now. Arizona looks pretty good.
No, Arizona's like this. Arizona puts up a great one, and they put
Roller
up a stinker.
coaster.
They put up a great one, they put up a stinker.
And-
I don't trust them. They they beat Miami. Miami stinks. And I know they had a good showing this week.
I gotta
but
say though, them beating Chicago the way they did on Sunday was kind of impressive.
Chicago stinks.
No, I get that, but
they're,
the way
they're
they
not.
beat-
They're not good at football.
But they beat them pretty soundly to the
yeah,
point where
right.
it's like,
They did
okay.
what they were supposed to do.
right.
But yeah, I like San Fran to win the division.
Yeah, I'm taking Tampa Bay at home here. San Fran goes in favored by 5, but I'm going to take the underdogs. I'm taking the
So you a
Buccaneers
Bucks
at
fan
home.
now?
No, not after the John Gruden beat me in the Super Bowl type thing. No.
Oh,
Can never be a fan of that.
I get that. I get
Next,
that.
we move on to, honestly, one of the games of the week, and
There
that
you
is going
go.
to be Pittsburgh at Washington, where Washington's favored at home by 3.
This is the game of the week for me.
Okay.
I can't wait for this one, and I'm hoping Washington wins this game solely so I can see both the Eagles and the Commanders next Thursday night of football high to powers. Looking forward to that. But the Steelers have a bye week. Russell Wilson's playing good. He's cooking. They just added another receiver yesterday in the trade deadline. Who was it?
I think that was Mike Williams.
Oh, he went to Pittsburgh.
I think he went to Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
you said
I had
he
it
went
wrong.
to Kansas City,
I
but
did.
Mike Williams
Right.
went to Pittsburgh.
Right. So
Adding more key players.
Look at you.
I think the Steelers are. They feel good. They got off a bye week now, and it's going to be a quality game here for them. You know what? Give me Russ and the boys. I got the Steelers.
Yeah, I think that this is the game where the quarterback's going to get exposed. Pittsburgh has the best defense, in my opinion, in the league. Their pass rush is unbelievable. They'll contain, and they got guys that can run him down. Watt on the edge, he might go in there and overcommit, but he could run the guy down. I like him to make a couple big plays and for them to handle Washington, even at Washington. I just don't think Washington doesn't have. What is their key win? Do they have one? What was their
big win this year
give me
so
one.
far.
The Hail Mary, maybe?
Not the Giants, right? No, not Giants.
No, there's no. They haven't. No, I don't think they have. They might have a marquee win, but I don't remember it. They're not. They haven't really played any really, really tough teams. This is the one. This is the one that's going to give you a litmus test of where you're at.
Cincy.
So
That's the only one. Cincy.
that's it. And we blew the doors off Cincy. So I'll take Pittsburgh at Washington.
I've been a huge Pittsburgh fan for like a month.
Oh yeah.
So I'm on the
Yeah.
bandwagon.
Right.
I'm riding the bandwagon. Big Pittsburgh fan. I
You got
love
terrible
everything
towel?
about them. I got the terrible towel in my
Okay.
office. I wave it around.
Right.
Want to go to that deli that has the good sandwiches. I'm taking Pittsburgh here. I love Pittsburgh, especially often a
Right.
bye week. Now they're adding more weapons for Russ or Justin,
You gotta let
whoever's
Russ
at
cook.
quarterback.
Let him
Yeah,
cook.
Russ is going to cook this week. I'm taking Pittsburgh to go into Washington, who's favored by 3. I want to shout out to Sal D. He's one of my favorite Sals here.
Right.
He's checking in from X. I don't even really
Second
have a
favorite
chat
Sal.
on X.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, they do, and I weighed in on it during the poker stream, which went berserk during over the past weekend. if you tune in and watch our poker streams there
course.
also. But yeah, welcome, Sal.
By Pbkc,
What do you got?
Coach of the year right now, early mid-season awards. Coach of the year, Mike Tomlin. Mike
Tomlin.
Absolutely.
The
Absolutely.
Notorious 8-8 Mike Tomlin, who wins half his games all the time.
Right now, they're 7-2, right? Or 6-2, whatever.
Remember the year they went 11-0 and then crash and burn.
We knew they were frauds that year.
Like 3 years.
We knew they were frauds that year.
Okay. Wow.
Okay.
Coach of the year.
Now we move on to the last 1 o'clock game of the week, and that is Minnesota at Jacksonville, where Minnesota goes in favored by 4.
Yeah,
Why did we laugh?
Okay. Jacksonville is terrible. The Eagles play down their level and a couple bad calls or whatever, and Jacksonville stays in the game. Jacksonville, they have no definition of who they are. They don't run the ball. They don't throw the ball. They don't play defense. They don't do special teams. The quarterback's missing throws all over the place. He's degraded terribly. He's backtracked to the point where Jacksonville has to look at what they're going to do. If Peterson doesn't come back a little bit to battle back in that game, he gets canned for sure. So I'm going with Minnesota. Jacksonville's just they're let's put them in a dumpster fire category.
I think Peterson's done anyway, regardless. This season's already over. So whether or not they make it through the week 18, whatever, he's done anyway. Minnesota's been kind of back to earth a little bit. The last 2 in a row, they won against Indy barely this past Sunday.
Yeah.
Minnesota, I'll go Minnesota, but this can go either way, honestly, only because it's in Jacksonville.
Yeah, this is one of those games, before I give my pick for the game, this is one of those games that you're probably not going to see anywhere else unless you come right here to Pbkc and check out the Paddock Restaurant Feast and Football, because honestly, they're not going to show this game at any other sports bar in all of Palm Beach County.
Not my house either.
Yeah, not in Earnest's house or not anywhere else you're going to watch that. And also, I got to let you know, did you know that Pbkc and Hard Rock Bet are now marketing partners? And that's all offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. You got to be 21 or older and physically present in Florida. Wager. Terms and conditions do apply. Concerned about gambling?
Please
call 1-888-ADMIT-IT. And there's no better place to watch the games than right here in the Paddock Restaurant.
Thanks for bringing that up, because I have a blast on that app on Sunday. Yeah. I'm there. I get my 1 o'clocks in, and then I get my 4 o'clocks in. And the best part about it is you could literally bet $1 and pick like a 17-team parlay. Like, take Earnest's bad picks, put them all up, line them up, bet $1 and win like $10,000 or something. It's great. If you hit all
ahead
those,
of you right now, though?
Yeah, huh?
Am I ahead of you right now in the standings?
Yeah, you are, but I'm just saying
but
no, it's fun. It is fun. It has a whole new element.
It does. It's fun.
Yeah, I'm taking Minnesota on the road at Jacksonville in that one. I think everybody is. Now we're moving on to the later games of Sunday. Tennessee at L.A. Chargers. L.A. Chargers favored by 7.5 points.
Yeah, the only 10 I see is the number draft pick.
You're still using
Tennessee.
that joke?
Yeah, they get the 10th overall draft pick because they're that bad. They're right there. They're 9th right now in draft picks. They they're trading away all their assets. They let Henry go, and they made a bad trade with A.J. Brown going to Philadelphia, and they traded a new guy for a guy who was proven.
Hopkins,
he's gone. They're just. Well, I don't know what they're doing, but I know if you're in jeopardy, if you own any Tennessee jersey, your guy might not be there after this year because it's just terrible. So yeah, the Chargers, they're in that mediocre category. They'll maybe back into the playoffs, but they've kind of let me down. I had high hopes for them, and they win games. They win games. They lose the games, or some of the big games they can't win. They haven't done it yet. They're not winning. They're not beating Kansas City yet. Maybe that's the one Earnest is talking about, that Kansas City will definitely lose a game at some point this year. He always talks about that. Maybe that'll be the next one.
Yep.
But it's not this. It's not. They win this one, but it's not because they're good. It's just because Tennessee's bad.
Tennessee beat New England last week. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Who cares? Give me the Chargers. This is easy. What are we doing?
Wow, don't even talk about it.
I'm taking the Chargers at home, again, favored by 7.5. Now we move on to a game that one of the people on the show is going to be adamant about. It's Philadelphia traveling to Dallas, a rivalry game. Philly's favored by 7.
Let me go first here.
Go ahead.
I am absolutely disappointed. So, okay, I remember a story. I'm going to tell you a quick story. It's going to be quick.
Okay.
All right, so Dak Prescott, he's out now. He has a hamstring injury or whatever. He's on the sideline. You see, he's cursing. He's like, we suck. And he's saying it. And you can read his lips, and he's saying that. He reminds me of the kid. So I go, my friend and his whole family, we go watch his little brother play high school football, right? And we all show up, and it's a big thing. And it's this big game. He's going to see the field. And he's playing cornerback. On the first play, they run around his side, and he gets beat. And he gets beat bad, and the kid goes for a touchdown. His brother takes 2 steps, looks around, and then lays on the ground. And he fakes an injury. So basically, he's like, oh, I'm hurt, and then all of a sudden he's fine. We asked him, he's like, yeah, no, I'm okay now. He faked an injury. I think Dak is this. They stink right now. Dallas stinks, and I think Dak is my friend's little brother faking that injury because he's getting smoked all over the field. I was hoping that he would be in there. For a couple reasons, 2 reasons. I'm not impressed with the way he's playing, and now we have that problem where here comes a backup, and everybody's gonna be all excited, and maybe have a new lease on life with what's his name,
Cooper Rush.
Cooper Rush, and he comes back in. You remember a few years ago he ripped off 4 wins in a row, and then he stunk again. I'm worried that they're gonna do this. I wish it was Dak. I'm going Philly either way. We're firing on all cylinders. We have 4 wins in a row. We're playing consistent football. But I wish Dak was in there because, I want to hear that. Here we go, and then watch him get his butt kicked.
Yeah, we won a measuring stick game before you play Washington next week. Once a challenging game, somewhat. I mean,
yeah, this is supposed to be the game of the week. It's not.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna do it again because you better not cost me money. I bet the Eagles to cover against Jacksonville on Sunday, and I had a 14 parlay, almost hit it, and then that.
Because Sirianni's gambling all over the board, and we'll go for 2, and we're not kicking field goals.
Does that bother you though? As an Eagles fan,
I have questions with some of the decisions. When you could go up instead of going up, when you could go up 9 points for sure, go up 9 points for sure. There's very simple math in some of these things. There's also aggressiveness, which I respect. Yep. But then there's also math. Play the math. Do the analytics and play it correctly. Stop gambling because eventually you lose. Now, the games where it really costs is when Campbell gambles in the playoffs, and it costs him, and then you're out. In the regular season, there's a little more wiggle room. You lose it, you gamble a little, you lose it, you're still in. So there's certain things to be said right now. You better clean that crap up before we get to the playoffs.
If this game's even close, it's because Sirianni did something stupid. Otherwise, Eagles cover. Easy. Come on.
Yeah, I'm taking Philly on the road, even though earlier on Noah did talk about, they changed the quarterback and then that guy comes in and gets a win. And I know that's probably bothering you right now. And the Eagles are going in favored by 7. I'm going to take the Eagles on the road here.
Can you imagine the Eagles going into Dallas being favored by 7? Think about that for a second.
Yeah,
when's the last time that's happened?
That is a big deal.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, we had Warren Brooks checking in from YouTube. He said upset of the week for him is the Commanders to beat the Steelers.
Yeah,
he didn't say the Steelers.
He didn't. Yeah. Careful, Warren Brooks.
Now, thanks for checking in, Warren. Now we move on to the New York Jets at Arizona, where Arizona is favored at home by 1.
Oh, that's your other team, isn't it? The Jets,
what?
the other team? Well, you quit them.
Quit
them a long time.
Okay, so the Jets are all over the place too, and I think that they're lacking confidence for lack of a better term, and I think they got some of that back with Adams catching a couple of big plays, and you see a little hype on the sidelines or whatever, but you got to get that swagger. And it's hard to fabricate. You can't just, but winning does develop swagger, and they could go on a run, and Aaron Rodgers is bringing out his inner shame, and he's talking about getting through the darkness, and he's talking about how they're going to fight through the darkness, and then they're going to come up with these wins. And his shaman, I seen his shaman's on the sideline, and they're doing all this, and they have smoke and all these things. They win this one at Arizona. I think they do. I think they start to get a little back on track. Arizona's all over the place. Arizona wins a good one. They stink. They win. They stink. The wild card again is the quarterback play. If they let him run and wiggle free and run like the little toddler that he is and gets away, then they could win this game. But I think New York contains that, and the Jets pull this out.
Yeah, this is a game that Jets have to have. I mean, they're still technically in the wild card race. I mean, they're not.
That's wild.
The only game back. That's the funny thing. I told you.
That's super wild.
The barometer is going to lower to probably 8 wins this year in the AFC. So look at their schedule. It's a doable schedule.
Yeah.
This game is tough.
Your tachometer is wrong here, Earnest.
Yeah. That being said, this is a spot, at least about Arizona. This is a spot Arizona typically let you down. You start buying it. Arizona. Oh, Kyler Murray. Oh, the Cardinals are playing good. 5-4, first place NFC West, and then they lose this game at home.
Yeah. Well, humidifier or not, they don't win.
So I'm going to go Jets. I think they find a way. Look, they were not that impressive against Houston last week, but I think they'll. I maybe call me crazy, man. Give me a Jets here.
You're crazy. There you go.
Yeah, I'll take a Jets. Yeah.
I'm taking the toddler at home.
You taking the toddler at home?
Wow. Arizona is favored at home by just 1. I did like what I saw from New York last week, and my fantasy team liked what Devontae Adams did. But I am still going to take Arizona at home, again favored by 1 this week. Now we move on to the last game, the Sunday night game, and it's a good one. Detroit at Houston. Detroit favored by 3.5.
Yeah, I got Detroit. Detroit's just good at football.
They are.
They're good at football. They play good football. That's it. Houston, they play decent football. They play okay football. Detroit plays great football. Houston plays. So when you say one team is great and then one team is good, it's an easy decision. So I'm going to go with the great team, Detroit.
My power rankings this week has Detroit number 1 over Kansas City.
Yeah.
They are the best team in football right now.
Right.
They're very impressive. They have
Right, and that's what your part, because you're figuring Kansas City's eventually going to lose a game, so you can weigh that in
Smart
there
guys.
also.
I
Yeah, he
hadn't
said
heard
that.
that.
Yeah.
Detroit's win's been very impressive. They are to me right now through 10 weeks the best team in football. Houston, they're a good team. They're going to win the South. They're a playoff team.
Stroud said he stepped back. He has.
He has. Remember I said MVP, Stroud?
Yeah, I remember, and I was like, "You're crazy," and I'm right, and you're wrong.
Yeah, and you're right, Noah.
Yeah.
Other than your picks.
Thank you.
But that being said, like Houston, they're a good team. They're not a Super Bowl contender, but they're a good team. They're a playoff team. Maybe win one wild card round depending on the matchup. But that being said, Detroit right now, they have now started to separate themselves from the rest of the pack. Like to me, the Super Bowl window, it's them, it's KC, and maybe Baltimore. Detroit wins this one also. I just think Detroit right now, they are cooking. And not only are they winning games that matter, they're winning games that matter on the way you're supposed to. They beat down Green Bay. That was never close. That was never close. That's impressive. In Lambeau like that? Nah.
Yeah, somebody's going to have to beat Detroit. I think somebody's going to have to, believe it or not, control the clock and control the line of scrimmage. And there's very few teams in the league
KC being the only one
that can control that line of scrimmage. Yeah.
Detroit just got another defensive weapon yesterday.
Yeah, they need that
from Cleveland. Who was that, Ernest?
Was it Cleveland?
You know who I'm talking about. I thought it was.
I saw the. I can't remember exactly where it came from, but yeah, they had somebody else yesterday too.
Yeah. No, they're putting all the pieces together. Probably the most complete team in football. I'm taking them on the road. Again, they're favored by 3.5 going into Houston. That's the Sunday night game. Now we move on to the Monday night game. Miami at the Rams. Rams are favored by 2.5.
I was told not to pick Miami last week because I was a jinx or whatever. I didn't. I go the other way. They lose. So I'm gonna go with what I believe they're gonna lose again.
Like they're
gonna lose again. Pick them, don't pick them.
Why don't pick the game?
Or just stay away from the game. It's Monday night, 8:15. It'll have the Miami fans wanting to rip their hair out, wondering why the team is dysfunctional in a lot of ways, and they struggle. Their defense is playing pretty good, I believe. Their offense, in my opinion, is coming up short. Tua had an opportunity. They lost by 3 points this week. Tua had one throw to Tyreek Hill that he underthrew. That Tyreek did complete it for a very large gain. If he throws it complete and over the top, they score a touchdown. Instead, they settle for a field goal. They end up losing on the last play of the game, and that's a little concerning. Tua did make some good plays, and he actually did a couple things where he had a little mobility and he made a good throw. They just can't get it together, and I think that Miami has to start taking a look at what they're going to do moving forward. If they don't start getting some of these things corrected by the end of the season, I don't know if it's time to restructure how you're doing things and rip the thing apart. But I'm going with Los Angeles as they get healthy, and Miami going all the way over there. I don't see Tua winning a big game on the road.
And with Stafford Dolphins too, like prior to Tua coming back 2 weeks ago, the defense was playing very well.
Yeah,
kept them in games. And then Tua's back, like, was like, oh, he's back. We can lay back and relax now. And, I mean, you got to figure it out somehow. Get it all together one game. This is going to be a really good game, though, for both offenses here. I mean, assuming Puka Nacua plays this week, this is going to be a really entertaining game. This is going to bet the over number 1 this game. Let's go there.
Okay.
I can see Miami pulling this off, but I'll take the Rams because Stafford and that crew, if Nacua's healthy especially, I think the Rams will pull it out. But this is a game Miami could win, actually, to be honest with you. Like, the Rams are not – they're very beatable.
Wait. Did you just go on a limb and say that 2 teams are playing that Miami could win? You just said that.
Did I say that for real?
What? You're like, Miami could win this game.
Miami could win
No, Sherlock?
This is
thanks for that.
No, this is the
way
game.
to figure that one out.
What's the spread in this game? Let me see it.
2.5.
Yeah, that half point is a big deal to me, honestly.
You taking a half?
I'll take the Rams, but this is a field goal game. This is going to be down to the like last week's Buffalo, down to a field goal.
Give me Miami on the road. I'm taking Miami.
I can see it. The half point.
It's all because of the half point. I thought about you when I was making my pick.
Well, you know how it works. The science is the home team gets 3 points out to shoot, and then anything adjusts. So.
Yeah, those are our picks for week number 10 right here on PBKC. Picks at Pbkc, and now we got to talk about our favorite place to watch all the games. That's Feast and Football every Sunday in the paddock, offering that $25 buffet with one draft beer.
Wait, so you can actually why are the games you can actually pull out the app and do it all and watch all the games at the same time, which is pretty awesome.
Watch, wager, and win.
Watch, wager, and win.
Watch, wager, and win at PBKC,
like that.
and that's offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida.
Yeah.
You got to be 21 and physically present in Florida to wager.
If I don't know how to do it, will you show me? Like if I come over here, can somebody show me?
Well, I don't know if they could talk you into it. But.
Okay, but yeah, you will walk somebody through. It's pretty simple,
oh,
right?
We will. No,
okay.
100%.
So walk through, come in and get hooked up, and then you can watch, wager, and win. Did you just make that up?
Are they going to card me?
Yeah. Terms and conditions do apply. If you're concerned about gambling, please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT. And just like Noah said, they will help you
That's
in
awesome.
every step of the way. Right here in the paddock, we have some great employees, Paul and T, that are there to help, and our staff is just amazing over there. I know a lot of people that have come to this Sunday buffet, and there's rave reviews. There's people that are here every single Sunday for football season because they love it so much. With 140 HD TVs, 3 big screens, full bar.
Wi-Fi so I could get on my app?
Wi-Fi so you
Yep.
can get on your app.
We're good.
And that tabletop TV is just priceless because you're going to be sitting there flipping the channels to all of your different
I'm hyped
plays.
now.
You know, even if you just play fantasy football, that is the best place to be also because you can watch all your
Who needs
players
fantasy
be
now when you got
terrible.
that app?
Yeah, exactly.
Let's go.
Oh, now that's now we're going to talk about fantasy as we move into our fantasy football tips or start 'em and sit 'em. Go ahead, Ernest.
My start this week, as mentioned, the Dolphins-Rams game, going to be a lot of fireworks. Start Tua this week. I think he continues to go off and get. Hopefully, he unlocks Jalen Waddle finally. Waddle had what, -4 yards? Hell was that about?
Did that really play out the way they said it did? Somebody said that Tua needed the over for yardage, and then he ran backwards. That didn't count with the pitch. That doesn't count when you pitch it backwards and guy runs 20 yards backwards, does it? But they said it was a big deal for the over-under, and I have to look at that. That was wild.
That was crazy. But Tyreek Hill's been playing better since Tua's been back in the lineup. So start Tua this week on Monday Night Football. Sit him. Easy. Jane Daniels. You're playing the Steelers defense. J.J. Watt. Not J.J. Watt. T.J. Watt. What are we doing here?
TJ, JJ.
Yeah. Don't.
OJ.
Don't even.
If OJ's there, we got problems.
Yeah.
Like
you sit Jane Daniels.
Yeah.
You sit Jane Daniels this week. Don't even play with fire there.
All right. So Burrow, he hasn't been playing great, but Baltimore's secondary, one of two things is going to happen. Baltimore's secondary is already suspect, but I also think that Baltimore could get ahead of them and force Joe Burrow to throw all over the field, which he can. It has nothing to do with the outcome or whether you like it. Fantasy is a little funny. You can actually pick teams that are going to get blown out, but pick the quarterback if you understand
garbage
how it works.
time.
And get that Dak Prescott, the king of garbage time. I go with Burrow as my start, and then my sit is Trevor Lawrence. Like, you just got to give it up. There's got to be something. Yeah. If you have 12 teams in your league, there is somebody better than Trevor Lawrence to start this week. I guarantee you that. I don't care who it is. Roll the dice. Pick anybody up that's not Trevor Lawrence and use them.
Yeah, I picked up Justin Herbert because Jordan Love is off this week. I saw Lawrence on there, and I'm like, oh, my God, I can't even admit it to anybody if I picked up him.
No, you couldn't.
Put him on my team. My start him, sit him this week. I like George Pickens at Washington.
Easy Pickens?
Oh, I love George Pickens. I got him about 2-3 weeks ago. Absolutely amazing so far. And my sit-em was my start from last week, and I'm very upset with Michael Pittman Jr. I thought with Flacco back last week.
Put him on a bench? He's
that
done?
He would do well, and now he's going back on my bench, so I can guarantee you Pittman has at least 2 touchdowns this week. That was our fantasy football start-em, sit-em for week number 10. And now the weekly poll that we had out last week.
This is where we stay. This is where we're like.
That's hey, Mike, you gotta get closer.
We picked the defensive. We picked the defensive player that was going to have the most sacks in Week 9. And Max Crosby won the debate right there.
How did we do though?
I think Max Crosby did have a sack in that game.
Okay. What about your boy Dexter?
He didn't dance this week. I think.
And Van Ginkel not so much. So yeah.
No, you know who won the
this
prize?
thing?
Another poker player, Tony Migliorino.
All right.
Tony Migliorino is our big winner of one free buffet this week. We actually had a winner from about a month ago, Steve Kennedy, who won right here on the show just for voting in the poll on Facebook.
It's easy to do.
He went last week to the Feast in Football, absolutely loved it. We know you will too, and all you have to do to possibly win that, we're going to pick one random poll voter, and the question this week is, who's your top Super Bowl contender? And this is the first and only week I'm actually going to leave the poll open for you to actually come up with your own, because I picked 3 teams. That's what we usually do, but 3 teams are probably not enough for this.
No.
So, of course, I picked the Chiefs, the Bills, and the Lions. Right now, they seem to be heads above the rest, but you could obviously put the Steelers in there. Some people might put Washington there. Some people put, the Ravens in there. So I'm actually going to leave that open. Oh, the Eagles.
The
too.
Eagles,
I
thank
didn't
you.
even
We
think
get-
about that.
So
Nobody thought about
so
the
on
Eagles.
on my podcast, I do have a Super Bowl bubble I do every so often, and we're at the midway point in the year. I have 5 teams actually in my bubble. Obviously the 3 teams: the Ravens, the Chiefs, and the Ravens, Chiefs, and the Lions. But I have the Eagles there still. I still have also the Bills there as well. So 5 teams.
All right, so you answer the contest, you can win a buffet.
Just
right?
for voting.
There's nothing better to buffet except a free buffet.
A free buffet.
Like,
No, nothing
what's
beats
better
that.
than that?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
just go ahead and vote.
Yeah, and like I said, if you want to put in your own team, you can do that this week. If you put like the Raiders or the Dolphins,
could
in
write
there,
in,
I'm
yeah.
banning you
Do
from
not
Facebook.
put the Giants, please.
Yeah, if Ernest
Panthers.
puts the Giants, then like he's off the Facebook.
I'm going to judge you harshly.
Of course he will.
Yeah.
So congrats to Tony, who won last week's free buffet in the paddock. Now we move on to talk about some of the great things going on in the paddock. And just a couple of nights from now, this Friday night, we have a show in the Paddock Restaurant with Let It Be. Let It Be is a wonderful tribute to
that's
the
not
Fab
it. That's
Four,
not
the
it.
ultimate tribute to the Beatles. And it's going to be coming up this Friday night. Tickets are still on sale. If you want to go to our website at pbkennelclub.com and buy those tickets. And you're not just buying tickets to the show, you're buying tickets to a dinner and a show with a 3-course meal. Wonderful food, a wonderful show we're going to put on this Friday night in the paddock with Let It Be. They were here last year. They were absolutely fantastic.
It's funny, even if you're not a Beatles fan, like a big
Yeah.
Beatles fan, this is a dinner and a show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. So what's going to happen is, let's say you're a fringe Beatles fan. What's
Like
going to happen
Earnest.
is they're going to start playing the
I'm a
songs,
casual.
and you're going to know every single
You will.
song.
Yeah,
every
that's the
single
best.
song.
I'm a
They have
casual.
this portfolio of these songs that are just like, and you'll be able to
Amazing.
sing along with everything while you're eating your meal. That's amazing.
Absolutely.
Yep, and we got to talk about another show that's coming up a little bit later this month, and that is Petty Nicks.
That's a good one.
Petty Nicks was here, I believe it was earlier this year to end our season.
Oh, wow.
They were fantastic, and just like you were saying, Noah, when I'm sitting there listening to them, and this is about as close to Stevie Nicks and Tom Petty as
Yeah.
you're going to get. I'll be honest with you, her voice, Fonda Cash, who is the lead singer, is absolutely amazing, and she is so much fun to work with too. She is going to lead that. She is absolutely amazing as Stevie Nicks, and then Tom Petty looks exactly like him. The
yeah.
music is just like spot on, and while I'm listening, I'm like, oh, I forgot that. I forgot that was a Tom Petty
You know what's cool?
song.
The Tom
I
Petty
forgot
song.
that,
They do it 2 stadiums now in Gainesville. They do "I Won't Back Down" at the end of the
Yes,
third
correct.
quarter,
Yeah,
and
it's
it is
amazing.
one of the most amazing
It
things
is.
you could hear. But I guess you're going to hear that night,
for
right?
My
You're going to
favorite-
hear that.
My favorite song is Run Down a Dream, actually.
Yeah,
Run
100%.
Down a Dream.
Yeah, those are the songs. I'm like, oh, I know this
Love that
song.
song.
Like, there you
Yeah,
go.
Tom Petty has a very underrated discography, honestly. I
He
went through
does.
it a couple of years ago. I was like, wow, there's a lot of good stuff here.
And a Florida guy, too. Rest in peace, Tom Petty.
Absolutely.
Come see Petty Nicks, and that's the 22nd of this month. And, man, you got a really good singing
No,
voice.
I'm going. I'm ready. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay, now we're moving on to our favorite part of the show, and it's called Quick Picks for week number 10.
All right, keep it
here
quick.
on PBKC
Keep it quick.
Picks.
Is this a favorite segment of the show? I guess I will see.
All right, go.
Okay, now Cincinnati at
You go first,
Baltimore.
Ernest, every time.
Baltimore favored by 6.
Ravens win, Bengals on the points.
Yeah, I Burrow for my fantasy player, but Baltimore wins.
I'm taking Baltimore in this one. Sunday games, the early game. Giants at Carolina. Giants favored by 5.5.
Who cares, man? Giants, whatever.
Yeah, in my mind, I'm going with Carolina.
Noah's shame of the week. I'm taking the Giants here. Now moving on to New England at Chicago. Chicago favored by 6.
I'll take the Bears. Why not?
The Bears.
Yeah.
I'm taking New England on the road. Now Buffalo at Indianapolis. Buffalo going in favored by 3.5.
Noah's crush, Josh Allen.
Josh Allen, so handsome, wins.
Taking his Riz on the road. I'm taking Buffalo here. Now moving on to Denver at Kansas City. Kansas City undefeated, favored by 8.
Casey?
Yeah, as Ernest says, they will lose a game.
Not this week.
What?
Not this week. I got KC.
Yeah, I'm taking KC. I don't think it's this week either. Now moving on to Atlanta at New Orleans. Atlanta favored by 3.
The fraud cons, Falcons.
Yeah, I'll take the Falcons.
I'm going to take the Falcons. Go Falcons here. Now San Francisco at Tampa Bay. San Fran favored by 5.
Who do you trust? Trust the Niners.
Yeah, I don't trust Faker Mayfield. I'm going to go with San Fran.
I'm going with Tampa Bay at home here. Now we move on to Pittsburgh at Washington. Washington is favored by 3.
Steelers off the bye.
Huh?
Steelers off the bye.
Oh, yeah, I take Pittsburgh. I think Washington gets exposed this week.
Yeah, I'm taking Pittsburgh on the road. Now Minnesota at Jacksonville. Minnesota goes in favored by 4.
Skull.
Yeah, it's literally the worst chant in football. Like
It's
just
annoying as hell,
terrible.
isn't it?
It doesn't even make sense. Like I got to figure out what that actually means.
Skull.
They were doing that in Philadelphia, and then I was there, and then they got blown out by like 80 points or something. So I'm going Trevor Lawrence stinks, Minnesota.
Shout out to all the Minnesota fans out there.
Yeah, that's what we're
We
talking about.
apologize to you guys.
Yeah, Noah's going to have to learn what skull means in the next week. I don't either. But I'm taking Minnesota on the road, favored by 4. Now we move on to Tennessee at the Chargers. Chargers favored by 7.5.
San Diego Superchargers.
Yeah, I already used my Tennessee joke, but I'm going with the Chargers.
They're not San Diego anymore, are they?
I don't care. That's from San Diego.
I'm taking the Chargers at home here. Now it's Philadelphia at Dallas. 7-point favorites for Philadelphia.
Do not scream Eagles again, please. I'm betting on you guys. Eagles win and cover.
Yeah, I'm not worried about your bets. We just need to take care of Dallas and handle this thing so we can look ahead and get to the next game. I'm going Philly.
I'm taking Philly on the road. Jets at Arizona. Arizona favored by 1.
I don't know why. I'm taking Jets though.
I know why. I'm taking the Jets because of the shaman on the sideline. That's why
And
I'm
I
going.
know
Cayenne
why
pepper, he
I'm
said.
not picking the Jets. I'm taking Arizona at home. Detroit against Houston. Detroit is favored by 3.5.
The best team in football right now is Detroit Lions. It's not even close.
They'll be celebrating on the 8 Mile after this season.
Yeah.
So I'm going with
That's
Detroit.
good. I like that.
Okay, I'm taking Detroit on the road.
Is that where the parade would be?
I don't.
I would
think so.
assume it would be.
I don't know
It'd be
about that.
wild. Go ahead.
Oh my God. You
Eminem would be at the front of that thing.
Music the moment you own it.
I didn't know you were cooking like that.
You only got one. Yeah, mom's spaghetti.
Okay, we got to stop this. Now moving on to the Monday night game. Miami at the Rams. The Rams favored by 2.5.
Noah has a Riz, by the way. You see that? By the way, Rams win.
Yeah, I got the Rams. Miami. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm taking Miami on the road. That's Quick Picks right here on Pbkc Picks. Enjoy the show every Wednesday at 10 a.m. and watch
why
out
would
for
you
Quick
miss
Picks
this?
all over.